Oh, Ben.
Oh, hi Clive, how are you doing?
What's been happening? Any problems?
No problems, there's a slight server problem earlier, but it seems to have cleared itself up.
Alright, okay.
Yeah, I'll hand over them. Right, we've got Tots Time and DB1, which is currently on air.
Okay.
The next programme's Dynamite and DB2, that's all lined
Any
up.
subs on that?
No subs, no.
Okay.
Later on we've got a subs problem though, actually. These subtitles, Meet the Ancestors, haven't come in yet.
Alright, okay.
So you better chase that up. And so the only other thing is the kit needs to be acquired. It's on 10:30.
Any spools missing?
No, all the spools are in.
Oh, great stuff. Alright.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Cheers,
See you
thanks.
later.
Okay, it was fine with the handover. There's just a couple of things which need looking at. There's some subs missing for Meet the Ancestors, which we'll have a look for later.
Yep.
And the kit, which needs to be acquired, which we can acquire now. So I've
Okay.
got the tape here. Just check the spool number. BRD 026017. Just check the tape as well. No, that seems fine. If you want to put that in the machine,
Yep.
I'll check the recording report. Okay, everything seems satisfactory there. And we'll just line up with the bars. Okay, if you just want to spool that to the beginning of the programme. Let's check the clock. It's fine. You just want to press play.
Diabolical horseless carriage! Open, confounded magical doors. Let me.
Audio levels seem fine on that. So we'll just enter the details into the acquisition station.
So what information will we enter first?
So what we need to do is we need to enter the spool number, which as we can see on here. And once you type that in, if we just click below it, it should bring up the details
Yeah.
to the program.
And they've all been entered, haven't they?
That's
Yeah.
right, and then we can double click on the program and find out the in point and the out point. And just spool the tape through to check that it matches.
Okay. And what are you going to set the GPI information? Because that runs the automation.
That's right, yeah, we set the GPI information if it, for whatever aspect ratio it's in, and also to fire the junction tape, which the directors need to take a look at.
And then once you've done that, you need to write it.
That's right, yeah. So that's set now. And we can also just check again the program number and the with the recording report we can just make doubly sure that it is the right MAT ID. And then if we OK that,
Once
and the machine's in remote, we just hit record and let it run and bring it up on our monitor and watch it through.
Okay, Clive, shall we check what's been acquired to our server ports?
Okay, yep, server port 1, server port 2. As I can see on here, everything which is going to be played, the next 5 items on each server port have been acquired.
Okay, how can you tell that?
You can tell this by the green status to the right here.
Right.
And also in the top right of each one, there's a green circle which also denotes that everything below has also been acquired as well.
So you're quite happy with that?
Quite happy with that. I don't actually have to acquire anything else for today's programming.
Right, Clive, should we have a look for those subtitles that were missing earlier?
Yep, to Meet the Ancestors, let's have a look for the MAT ID. They should all been uploaded by the librarians from subtitling. You go to File in subtitling, Input Subtitle, for the one we want, with no spaces, you have to type in LSF K272S and then OK that. Brings it up here. Just highlight it. And then OK to open that.
So now we can check our spool number and...
Yeah, against this we can check the spool number on our DTS here. It should be the same. Then we just OK that. Then we load that. And then scroll down the page until we find it, and they're all in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
And we're looking for LSF K272S. And there
that's
it is.
There.
And you just highlight it.
And we
then
can check the spool number now as well,
can
can't we?
check the spool number as well, yeah. And then once you've highlighted it, you click on whichever machine you need to send them to. So we're sending them to do DB2. So you just click on send.
And that's
and wait-
uploading now.
And that's uploading now. And it should be done in about 30 seconds. And then all you need to really do, perhaps, is to spool the program through, just to check that it is the right file that we have sent, just to make doubly sure.
Sweet A Pop, eh?
Hi there.
Hi, Clive. Can I just check the details in the next programme, please?
Yep, sure. That's coming off spool number BRD 024683. That's in machine DB2 with no subs.
That's great. Thanks very much. I'll just run that down. Yep, that's fine. Thanks very much. And we'll be on air at 17:30:46.
Great, thanks.
Okay, thanks.
This panel allows me to select various sources, be it server or VTR or S-line, onto the assignable monitors and stack it in front of me. It also allows me to select any of these sources onto what's called DTA lines. Usually there's 3 of them per channel, and with the help of a little panel to the left, I can change the aspect ratio of them through an arc into 16:9, 14:9 or centre cutout.
So Clive, should we have a look at the automation system now?
Yep, sure. Bring it up here.
So what information do we need to get from this?
Well, this shows us what's running at the moment, what's on air, and how long until the next event is. We can also look ahead 3 or 4 hours, for instance, and find out what other programs are outstanding which need to be acquired onto the server. It also tells us which machine or which server port each program is to be played off of, so we can double check that. We can also check material ID on this.
Okay, and it also
Which
tells us
program?
what program we need to load in what machine as well, doesn't it?
That's right, yeah. And also which GPI needs to be set for each one, whether there's going to be subtitles or the aspect ratio. It also gives us an indication of what the transition between each event is going to be. It's going to be a cut or a mix. That's more to do with the network director than us, though.
Okay.
We can also go into each event and look at the in and out time codes, just to make doubly sure the program is going to finish at the right time, as a backup really to the network director.
So Clive, we know about today's schedule, but if we want to know about tomorrow's, where can we find that information from?
Well, if we need to look at tomorrow's schedule, we can have a look in PICS, which is program information, and we can bring up whichever network we want to look at, and whichever day we need to look at as well. And this will give us all the information which we need to acquire whatever needs to be acquired for tomorrow, and also whichever tapes are outstanding which we need to get hold of.
Okay. And what other information does this tell us?
It could also tell us where the tape is at the moment, and if we wanted to look at trails, it could also tell us how many different types of trail there are. There could be up to 4 different types of trail which are going to be played out at any one time on a network.
Okay, so what information do we need for trails to find those?
Trails still, to look up the details for a trail, there's still an ID for it, but it's a different MAT ID than the program ID. And if we type that in, it can bring us up pretty much the same information as each program. It can tell us when it's going to be transmitted, whereabouts the tape is at the moment, and any other little details which whoever had entered the information felt other people needed to know.
So there we can see that it tells us the spool number, and you can also get the location as well, can't you?
That's right, yeah. In case it's
And that's
needed.
that there, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.